What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, G's, gents, peeps, and cronies? Welcome to the Professor Goodfeels show, and I am Professor Goodfeels, as you know. My boy, the hero, the one, Hugo Infinity is here with us again today.
Hugo Infinity!
There we go. Also, too, as I always tell you, links to his channel and things of that kind of extra nature will be linked down below in the description. I hope y'all doing real well. Right now, we have something special we really want to talk to y'all about. We normally divvy into mindset and all that good stuff, as you know, because we trying to be better people, you know what I'm saying? We being all we can be for the whole wide world to see, and so on. So now we have this, I found something on Instagram that was real dope. My boy Hugo, he finna read it off to you right now. We finna go through it. You gonna pick it up as we go. So just rock with us.
Yeah, so, thing we got pulled up is the rich mindset versus the poor mindset. We're gonna go through each of these because they make some solid points. And so just one by one, we're gonna go through it. We're gonna see what separates, certain mindsets from certain growth, and just talk about our own experience with these mindsets and what we had to do to overcome these setbacks in our own minds. So the first one I got pulled up, it says, rich people see opportunities and focus on rewards. Poor people see obstacles and focus on risks. I have a good example of this one. See, I was back when in the beginning of the year, I was working 2 jobs and I was like putting all these hours. I'm like, yeah, I need to work, and I started getting exhausted, and I'm like, you know what? I decided to quit one of my jobs. But instead of seeing that as an obstacle and saying, oh, well, if I quit this job, I'm going to make less money, woody-woo, I saw the opportunities in that situation. I said, well, if I quit this job, I can put overtime in my other job, and I can also, have the mornings available to do Instacart or Uber or whatever. I started seeing that free time I freed up. I didn't see that as a loss or an obstacle. I didn't see that as I'm losing money. I said, it's an opportunity to gain more money doing something I'm more passionate about. A lot of people see a job loss as a risk or they're scared to leave a place because they see the financial obstacles, but I see financial opportunities. I see a chance to replace something good or something better. And sometimes people think they'll lose something good for something worse, and that's the change in mindset you need to have.
And you took like a negative mindset and then changed it into something positive, and also to something that's an asset to you now, because the way how we think is going to reflect a lot of things on how we do. Because if you sit up here and think like, okay, damn, I got a bad day, then you're going to pretty much have a bad day. And I may jump another number with this, but one thing is like your mind is going to return to you whatever it is that you have planted into it. Like I said in my other video, like our mind is just like soil. It'll return whatever idea in abundance that we plant into it. And that's the beauty of life, bro. It's like we don't understand the fact that you can literally have and do whatever it is that you want to do. But if you want to do something good with your life, you can. But also too, the flip side is that if you want to do something bad with your life, you can. If you're around people that's not doing nothing for you, if you're around a job that's not motivating you to be the best you and all that good jazz, anything that you plant will be returned in abundance. And that's the freedom of one of the greatest freedoms of life.
And that's good that you said that. You said you did jump a number, but it's a good segue, because the next one was rich people focus on what they want, while poor people focus on what they don't want. It's like you said, what you surround yourself with. If you're surrounding yourself with things that you don't want, why are you focusing on that? You should focus around, like me, when I was stagnant and I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, I was focused around people that were just, they were just very complacent in life, very just stagnant, just chilling all the time. And I was focused on what I didn't want. I knew I didn't want that lifestyle, but I still surrounded myself with that. When I started focusing on what I did want, when I started adding more photographers on Instagram, when I started adding more videographers, I started, gaining, windows to their lifestyle. I started focusing on what I wanted. I wanted to live that lifestyle, to be on the scene, shooting photos, doing all this and that. So I started focusing on surrounding myself with that and focusing on what I wanted. Because if you focus on what things you don't want, you're going to live a life you don't want to live. And so it's important to focus on what you do want and to have a solid idea of what that is, because a lot of people will say, oh, I'm still figuring it out, or woody-woo. It's like the sooner you have it figured out, though, it's like you don't travel to your destination before you open the GPS, right? Like, you don't just start driving and say, I'm just going to figure it out as I go along. Sometimes you do. Sometimes, there's certain exceptions where it works out for somebody that way. But 9 times out of 10, you drive without the GPS, you're going to get lost.
Yeah, because also, too, adding on to that, too, what gets a lot of people is that they focus on what they don't want and they focus on what they're scared of. And fear is something that really holds people back, because now that I'm more aware and I'm more open, I'm realizing now that a lot of things taught me fear at a young and early age. A lot of my family members' traditions and things of that nature, a lot of people around me were taught fear and to be scared and to dread things, and so in turn their minds was focused on this. And when they were focused on this and they were getting these certain things and situations that they didn't want, I started thinking to myself, like, well, maybe you could have done something a little different to avoid this. And now that I'm older, I'm more aware, you know, I understand now it's the way we think. Because one of the biggest things that stops people, from Earl Nightingale, I was looking at what he was talking about. He pretty much said, like, the greatest thing that stops us isn't cowardice, it's conformity. It's being just like everyone else. It's like being a product of your environment. If you're around people who just say, oh, what they can't do, what they can't have, what they can't afford every single day, the chances are high that the kid is going to pretty much pick up that same mentality. So that's a crazy thing that sweeps around to what he was just saying. Be careful who you're around. Be careful who you give your time to.
That's actually the perfect segue. That's the next one. How can I afford it versus I can't afford it? And it's like you said, if you're around people that you know, that down their own dreams, like, oh, I can't afford that, I can't do that for life, you know, I'm never going to be capable of that. No, the right mindset, the abundant rich mindset says, how can I afford it? You know,
how can I make this work?
This last week they called me in on both my days off. You know why? Because I said, you know what, I need new photography equipment, I need new video equipment, I need studio time. So how can I afford that? Putting in more hours, or going on Instacart and, you know, looking at these orders, you know, or finding avenues, or selling some shirts. You know, I'm like, you know, what can I do to afford the things that I need? Because if I just say, oh, I can't afford that, you know what, I'm never gonna get that $1,000 camera. Fuck, you know what? No, I'm never gonna get it then. But if I say, how can I afford this? How can I make $1,000 in 1 month, or you know, vice versa, whatever amount it is, you know, if you actually put that belief, because every action begins with a belief first. You have to believe you're capable of that action, because if you already believe that you're incapable, you're not gonna move, you're not gonna make that movement, and you're gonna stay exactly where you're at. And you have to be able to find that pathway. You know, you have to be able to find the avenue that's gonna get you. Because if you go into the multiple world theories or the parallel universe, if we're in an infinite universe, every single life that you could have lived is possible. There's always a certain choice that can lead you down this path or down this path, and it's happening in real time. The decisions we make shape the lives that we live. So if you take that path that says, I can't afford it, you're going to go down that path, and that's where you're going to end up. If you say, you know what, I can't afford it, how can I afford it? You're going to see, okay, this branch will take me here, this branch will take me here, this branch will take me here. I'm going to go down this path. And you actually start looking for those patterns that take you where you need to go.
Especially too, and this is kind of going to divvy off a little bit, but it's still going to relate. When it's coming to the people we hanging around to, the people who we forming relationships with. Because like I said in my last video, probably about 80 to 90% of my Facebook, I see people talking about like relationships and stuff of that kind of nature. You know what I'm saying? The men ain't this, women ain't this, and all that good stuff. And when I sit up here and think about it, like, who you giving your time to in your relationship is massive. Even more important than your parents and things of that kind of nature, because that significant other is going to be a whole different bracket of happiness and love for which you're going to experience. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be substantially different. And if you're around somebody who's an asset to you, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that it's all materialistic, but in some way, form, or fashion, there is a bit of a kind of a business kind of mindset when it comes to relationship, because it's all about what are you willing to tolerate. If you're willing to tolerate somebody who's consistently putting you down, somebody who's putting your dreams down and things of that nature, who's not matching on a vibrational level your ambition, that's going to create problems for you later on down the line, because then you're going to have emotional problems. You're going to feel like, okay, I'm not getting what I need, I'm not satisfied, it's something missing, and that's going to affect you along your path of just oneness within yourself. I've been trusting myself and how things been going, and I've been listening and connecting with my higher self, and I've been hearing decisions be kind of played out for me. What I'm saying is like, I don't know if you ever felt like you've been doing something sometimes, whatever, something maybe brand new, and you feel like you got the answer to something. you know what I'm saying, you feel like you've learned something, you've seen or done something before. That's the higher elevation of you connecting within yourself, telling you, hey, this is the right thing to do, this is the wrong thing to do, so on and so forth. And that connection is always going to have a rich mindset. It's going to have the mindset of how can you better yourself in any way, form, or fashion.
Yeah, and that's kind of segues into the next one, is long-term perspective versus short-term perspective. You know, are you thinking about the next 5 to 10 days or the next 5 to 10 years? And that's what he said about relationships. A lot of people get into relationships because they're looking for that short-term pleasure, or, you know, for the next 5 to 10 days or 5 to 10 weeks. You know, it'd be good, whatever. But do you see yourself with this person 5 to 10 years from now? Or the habits that you're forming, you know, you think, oh, it's pleasurable, 5 to 10 days, I'm gonna go out to eat, I'm gonna watch Netflix, I'm gonna do this and that. You know, 5 to 10 days, that's fun and all. But if you still doing the same thing 5 to 10 years from now, you're not going to grow in what you really want to do. You have to think long term. And also that has to do with just the moves you make, building your network and your foundation. Because a lot of times, a lot of the work I've been doing lately, it's been free. I've been hooking people up, like, you know what, I got you. Let me do a photo shoot for you. Let me build my portfolio. You know what, I come thinking long term. Because if I think short term, oh, you know what, let me charge you $200 right now, and in 5 to 10 days, I'm gonna make this money. No, I'm thinking 5 to 10 years from now, when I build that connection with you, and you know more people that you need to do photo shoots, you're gonna send them my way. Why? Because, you know, in the beginning, I built that foundation, I built that long-term relationship. Because I'm playing the long game. People don't understand. You could be in it for the short term, make your money and get out, and that's perfectly fine. But me, I'm playing long term. I'm trying to build an actual empire. You know, I'm trying to actually build a expanding media business, and I'm forming connection with people. You know, like the car shoot I did recently, I didn't charge for that car shoot, but I actually paid out of pocket to get the model and the other photographer. But you know why I did that? Because that's my foot in the door into car photography, or me doing, you know, all the things I do. It's just, I'd rather build a network first, because your network is your net worth. You know, people can be in it for the quick money, or people can be in it for the long term. And you really got to see where you're going to put yourself 5 to 10 years from now. You got to see what you do today, how it affects your life down the line. You know, every single decision we make today affects our future 5 to 10 years from now. And so you can't just think about the next 5 to 10 days. You can't, like, if you're worried about your health, you know, you could easily go to McDonald's for 5 days and, you know, you'll feel great. But if you go to McDonald's for 5 years, you ain't gonna get healthy.
Yeah, I seen that. What was that? That supersized movie?
Yeah, you know. So you got to think about the habits you do, and within that 5-day time frame, think about you doing that for 5 years.
Shit. I don't know. Somebody calling me something in the do not disturb mode. Okay. But I feel you on that, because I'll be thinking about that too. Me personally, I think, like, when it comes to some people, their goals and stuff like that be different. Because me, if I have a goal, I don't really think about the length of it. The only thing I have on my mind is focusing on that goal, because I'm real simple-minded when I need to be. When it comes to just something that I want, my simplicity just hits of, hey, I want this. I don't care what's in my way. Let me just do this. And it's funny because, like I say, like it seemed like the more simpler I am, the more I kind of notice energies and the universe and just the way the world kind of works. Because I heard from Bob Proctor, he said, like, when you focus your imagination on what it is that you want, the outer reality will start to shape itself in ways, forms, and fashions that'll get you to where it is that you want to go. So if maybe 5 or 10 years just doesn't sound right to you, just focus on whatever it is that you want. As long as you got some sort of goal, you ahead of the pack. You doing all right for yourself. As long as you have a real, authentic goal, just focus on that and you'll be all right.
I also think it's kind of like, you know, when you're setting the ship, you know, when you got a long course and you don't make a 180-degree turn right then and there, you adjust the sail 1 degree. So that sail, as you go along, it's shaping the course. So every small decision you make now, it has a big impact. You don't want to make a whole bunch of huge decisions at once. Sometimes, or you can, like you said, it's all about knowing what exactly your goal is. Sometimes, you know, some people understand that small burst of decision making is the way to go. It's all about how you think personally. Me, like I said, I'm more calm and calculated. So I'm, like I said, it's like, for me, it's like sailing a ship. If I know I'm sailing from here to England, and my ship sail, every small little change I make shapes how the direction of that ship. You know, like, I'm gonna be more conscientious of every small decision that I make, because I know it turns the gears into whatever. I don't know how else. I totally fucking brain farted right there.
Some people more tactical with it. Some people just more berserker. Let's just run through it.
Yeah, and that's a decision you have to make for personally. Everyone watching out there is how you want to approach it. So next one is having a solution for every problem versus having a problem for every solution. And I love this one because I've seen this so many times where I say, hey, this needs to get done with you, and they're like, oh, but this and that. And I'm like, all right, well, what about this? Nah, but this and that. And I'm like, every single solution I offer, they have something negative to say or say, this is why they can't do it. They could be like, hey, I'll be like, hey, you know what? Let's go to this house. Go to this house down the street. And they're like, oh, but it's because I don't got a car. Oh, you could walk. Oh, it's because it's hot outside. Oh, well, it's raining. Here's an umbrella. Oh, no, it's because the umbrella is blue. And like,
it's always something.
It's always something, bro.
It's always something.
And me, I'm like, I have a solution for every problem because I've walked miles to my job just to show up. I'm like, there's a solution. I can get there if I need to get there. Like, you have to find a way. Stop blocking your own. A lot of this is probably. I'm glad this is the last one too, because it's probably my favorite one. Stop looking for excuses, and if you honestly just don't want to do the work, just say that.
Yes.
Stop making excuses. Stop finding problems. Stop saying this is why I can't do it.
It's always something.
Just say you don't want to do it. Just say that. You know what? I don't want to walk to that house. I don't give a fuck if it's raining, sunshine. You give me an umbrella or a car. I just don't want to go. All right, be direct.
Exactly. Just I don't want to do it because I can. If somebody will tell me something, you know what I'm saying, hey man, I really want to. A lot of times, a lot of people will say that they have big goals because again, that sounds nice. It sounds real good to say that you want something because you don't want to look like you're directionless. You don't want to look like you don't have it together. And the truth is, nobody has it all raised together. We just look like we do. And the thing about it is like you're never going to be 100% together. It's like saying you'll never have any kind of issue, discrepancy, or grievance in life. You're going to have those, but it's about how you handle them and how you navigate through them. See, the thing is like when people look for excuses and stuff like that, what it really is just saying, hey, I just don't want it that bad. That's pretty much all that is like, I don't really want to achieve that goal. So many people said, hey, I did YouTube before, I did this, whatever, and I just stopped or whatever. And I'm just like, why did you just stop? Oh, I don't know, I just stopped. Did you really want it that bad? And I understand sometimes you have to evaluate some things, be like, okay, I want to test this out. But be authentic with yourself and say, I really want to test this out because your words have power. If you're saying, yes, I want to make, 100 million subscribers on YouTube, then be firm on that goal. You know what I'm saying? If you're saying, hey, I want to try this out and see what it's like, be real and be firm with yourself because I can tell somebody, hey, you can try doing this. I had a friend of mine, she said she liked doing art. So I gave her some tips and suggestions. I had another friend who liked to sell lipstick. I gave her some tips and suggestions. She took those and she actually said, okay, let me apply these and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I have all the answers, but what I'm saying is that if you really want something, you can have it. You really can have it. And like I said, the universe going to put people in front of you that's just going to be able to say, hey, I have an idea for this. I can do this or whatever. See, a lot of folks, like I said, they use those excuses as shields for not achieving. They look for a reason, a God-like reason. The universe is this. Life is just this or whatever to a way of just saying it. Instead of just saying, damn, I don't want to do it.
I think one of the ones I see a lot, and I can't personally speak on this, but it's things that I've seen is, oh, I have kids. No, you get one where someone's like, oh, I have kids, I can't do this, and the other person is taking their kid to the studio with them, or taking them to work, or it's I know a lot of people with kids that still go after their goals, and that
multiple kids. I've seen it.
I see a homeboy with his kid in the studio while he's working on his music. I've seen a homeboy take his kid to video shoots. It's like and obviously, it's circumstantial, and so I'm not downing anybody for putting their kids first or saying kids the priority. I'm just saying if there's a way to juggle both, you have to be able to look for that, and a lot of times there is. But like I said, I can't personally speak on that. I don't have kids, so if I'm wrong, be more than ready to correct me. But I've seen it to where a lot of people with kids are still going after the goals or still achieving that because they want to pass that down to the kids. Not only the business they're trying to build, but also that mindset. I had a homeboy he does diesel repair, and he's instilling his kids that entrepreneur mindset. He owns his own business, and I saw this post where he's like, "Oh, nothing's free." He has his kids out there I work with him, power washing their driveway because gets oil and everything. He has the kids at work with him, and he's also building their mindset. He's also helping them become entrepreneurial. And it's all about the perspective you keep, because it's perspective. If you say, "Oh, I can't do this because I have kids," or you're always gonna you're gonna be stuck in that. If you say, "Hey, you know what? I know I have kids. I don't have a lot of time, but maybe if I take 30 minutes a day to do this, or maybe if I take them with me, or if it's you could try to find certain solutions, and I understand certain situations you can't. Certain situations, maybe if you're a single mom, you have 2 jobs, you already have your hands full. I can understand that, and I respect that. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not downing anybody for putting their kids first, but there's a lot of people that will use that as a crutch and use that as an excuse. That will know there's solutions out there. Or another one's, I don't have time. You make time. This morning, I was like, damn, I was tired from work. I just got off like at 3 in the morning. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna go home, go to sleep. So let me drive around and scout out photography locations. I said, let me just go do it. When people say, "Oh, I don't have the time," you can make time.
Everybody has the same 24.
Yeah, everybody has the same 24 hours. And it's wild. Or what's another one people use? I don't have the resources.
Before you shift to that part, I want to touch on that when you're talking about
the kids.
Yeah, because this is my thing on this is whatever. I believe, like I said, you can have whatever it is you want. Personally, I do believe in that, regardless of your circumstances, your situation, or whatever. If somebody crippled can get some legs and run in the Olympics, fam, you can make it work. It's just all about figuring out a way on how to do that. Because just using a little bit for me is like, my mom said she wanted to be a pediatrician when she was younger, but she said she couldn't because she had me at 15. When I sit up there and think about that and I see how things are today, this is no disrespect to my mom. I love her a long time and stuff like that. But one of the truths to it, in my honest opinion, is that, like I said, you just didn't want it, because even after I got older, you still didn't choose to pursue it. And a lot of people, like I said, will find an excuse, cling on to that excuse for dear life, to justify the fact of why they just didn't go after their dreams. And like I said, a lot of people don't get what they want because they just don't feel like they deserve it. They don't feel like that they really put in that kind of effort, because it's always some form of way, even if you got to put it on hold for a little bit and stuff like that. But jumping to the excuse of, hey, I have a kid or whatever, you trying to use your kid as a shield. That's pretty much what it is that you're doing. Life allows us to have whatever it is we want. It's always some sort of way out there. It's always some way out there, in my honest opinion. And everybody else, talk to me on that. Let me know what you feel, you know what I'm saying, about that particular understanding.
Yeah, that might be a whole topic on its own, to be honest, because like I said, that's a big topic. Because
it's like, can kids stop you from becoming successful?
Yeah,
some of that nature.
And I like what you said about, even if you had to put it on hold, it's better late than never. If you got kids and that 18 years of your life is dedicated to them, the second they're 18 or they start their own lives, you can always go back to what you wanted to do.
I want to
maybe not, like I said, depending on circumstances, maybe you really, life just really dealt you a bad hand and you don't have, the capability of doing it. All right, but a lot of people do. A lot of people can always go back and keep pursuing their dreams. And I think another one of my favorite excuses that people always use, and it's funny, they're like, "Oh, I don't know how to do that." We're in the age of information. You could Google anything. All the stuff I've been learning, I've been self-teaching myself. I've been looking at webinars, online classes, courses, all this stuff. And it's like the favorite excuse. "Oh, I know nothing about that. Oh, I don't know anything about that."
Fresh bullshit.
Yeah, like, "Oh, I don't know, just talking. See, I can't do all that. I don't know about that." Then fucking learn. Like, no disrespect, but like, ignorance is a choice at this point. If you just, like I said, if you don't want to do it, just say that. Don't say, "Oh, it's because I don't know." Just say, "Oh, I still want to do that."
And when you do just say, "I don't want to do stuff," bro, it makes you firm. It makes you more confident. It makes you more reasonable and understanding. Because one thing that threw me off, and this could be a whole separate topic too, people who just don't know how to say no. And I still don't have an understanding with this all the way. I understand, some people don't know how to express themselves or whatever, but specifically what I'm talking about is just, I feel like, in my opinion, A guy needs to be able to say yes or no when it comes to things. He needs to be able to be firm on what he believes in. He needs to be able to be firm on what it is that he wants. And it throws me off when it comes to certain people that still just can't speak on what it is that they want. These aren't bad people at all, not at all. But I'm just speaking on the importance of working on this confidence muscle. So that way you don't get played, you don't get took for a fool, you don't leave any room for assumption, because I hate when people assume what it is that I'm saying instead of just listening to my words. Because when I speak firm, I speak confidently. I say what it is that I want. And like I said, that could be something for a whole nother topic. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Before we end this, I got a surprise for y'all, so hold on 1 second.
I don't even know what it is. I mean, really, I just got it.
So y'all want to support the cause? I got some Hugo Infinity Media merch out now. I just put another batch for another order. I'm setting up the website right now. I'm just doing it in person. You know, I'm pulling up. Cash App, Zelle me. I also have back here, we got the official POE shirt. Got my name on the back, Infinity. This is the record label I'm signed to. Had to throw it out there, you know. I'm really proud about the merch. I love this logo design.
I like that too.
Shout out to Michaela. She's one of my coworkers. She's an amazing artist. This is exactly what I wanted from a logo, like hands down. If you want to support, you know, I'm about to release a lot more content. I know Mr. Goodfeels has his clothing line in development. I know he's working on his motivational clothes.
It's gonna always be a good day.
That's gonna be one of the first shirts. It's gonna always be a good day. So if you want to support, you know, have us continue doing what we love, cop some merch. He's gonna put the links to my Instagram. You can DM
everything
me.
Gonna be in the description below. You can check out his page. You can check out his channel. You can check out his merchandise and all that stuff. I will be linking as I upload this video. And
when me and him converse, we have long, lengthy discussions. We get a lot out there. We love to talk. So if you have a topic you want us to talk about, if you have any ideas or you want to throw your opinion and see what we think as well, feel free to comment below. Feel free to message us. Say, hey, you know, I want to see what y'all think about this, or we want to be more interactive. So go ahead and interact with us. Tell us what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, and we'll knock it out. You know.
And thank you to everybody too who've been putting comments on my videos. You know, I always like to say thank you because I just love to be grateful now. You know, just damn, I'm thankful for everything that's going on. And like I say, follow me on Instagram if you want to see an amazing quote like the one you're finna see at the end of this video. And like we spoke about, links to everything is gonna be in the description below, y'all. We appreciate y'all time, effort. Stay smooth like butter, slick like hair grease, and fine like cream gravy. This Professor Goodfeels, my boy Hugo Infinity. Check out the merch, y'all. Check out the channel. We out here. We doing the Godzilla big. Y'all stay smooth.